La 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 la. Oh! Oh! Hey kids! It's Sean Teacher coming at you today. Just wanted to tell you, today we're going to be working on cursive letter C. So, let's get started! Alright, the first thing to remember is that Sean Teacher's using a pen. You should be using a pencil. Don't forget that. We're going to begin by numbering our paper. 1, 2, 3, 4, as we usually do. 1, 2, 3, 4. You get the idea. And now that our paper's numbered, we're going to begin by doing our looping exercises that Sean Teacher is so fond of doing. Remember, students, that when you're doing cursive, it should have kind of a slant or a lean quality to it, and not everybody's ends up having that. And let me see if I can explain what I'm saying. Many of you'll start and your cursive will be straight up and down like this. But usually, at least my writing teacher wanted me to lean as I wrote. Like that. So if you can see, if I draw a line right through the middle, this one's going sort of straight up and down, while this one is leaning. And that's sort of the quality you want most of your cursive letters to have, is that kind of lean. It almost seems to be giving the letters a direction to be going. It suggests that anyway when you do it. But the more you sort of do this, the more likely you are to have a very neat cursive writing style. Okay. Now that we've done our first looping exercise, let's do our other one that we're so happy to do so many times. The idea with this one is to learn to pull and to push. Pull, loop, and push. Pull, loop, and push. Pull, loop, and push. And remember, the whole time my hand is sliding. It's not too easy to see, but my hand is sliding when I do this. And this exercise just makes us fluent in being able to do what we're doing. Also notice that it makes our letters ascend and descend from where most of the things that are happening on line 2 in our letters. The space for line 1 is reserved for capital letters and ascenders. That means little letters like H and L that go up, and line 3 is reserved for descenders, which are letters that go down like G or Y or J. And line 4 is the space between lines. We'll talk more about that later. Anyway, the whole idea of this exercise is to get you used to doing ascenders and descenders and pushing and pulling your pencil or your pen like that. And if you'll notice, these also have that sort of slant that Sean Teacher was talking about. See it? So that's what you want to go for each time. Which brings us to learning to make cursive letter C. Now, cursive letter C, if you were to go to a book, they would just show you to do this. Not too different from your block letter, because your tail comes out like that. My cursive teacher taught me to do this, and you don't have to, but it should come up a little bit because that's going to be how it loops to the next letter. So I was taught to make that little, she called it a pigtail. If you kind of look at it, it sort of does look like a pigtail. See? And the way I think about this is that when I do it, I'm already started on it before I get to the paper. In other words, when I'm coming down with my pen, I'm thinking that I'm going to loop. So it's a very quick thing. I'm coming down and I have that loop in my mind, and I think very roundly when I do that. Yeah, like that. Now, lowercase c, just the same. You don't even need to put that little loop there. But what you will need to remember is that like A, when you're connecting letters with lowercase c, you're going to have to double back. I'll show you what I mean by that in just a moment. But there's lowercase c. We're going to put. Now, when you put the two letters together, we're going to put capital C with lowercase c. And watch how I have to go backwards over what I just did. See it? And it helps to think I'm going to make this look round. Elsewise, it'll look egg-shaped, kind of like your A. Watch, I make my little pigtail and I go around, come up, go back, and think round again. And to say that another way, I pull, loop, I push, I push, I pull, and I make my tail. One more time. Like that. And we can really begin to form some words today. And let me see if I can show you what I mean by that. If I were to take my capital letter C that I've just learned and add it to my lowercase a and my lowercase b, I've made the word cab. Hey Ma, call me a cab. I guess it's an Uber now. Anyway, there's cab. And maybe we can make A, B, A, C. We made the word abac, which really isn't a word, it's sort of a nonsense word, but it works for learning how to do cursive. Okay, kids, that's what you should be doing today. So, what do I want you to do? I want you to do your looping exercises, one line of each, remembering what Sean Teacher said about the slant or the lean in your letters or your shapes, and remembering what I said about pushing and pulling and ascending and descending. Remember what we talked about. You don't have to make the pigtail, but some people really, it's easier for them if they do. Make about 8 capital letter C's and 8 lowercase c's, and make about 8 sets of C's, and do about 6 combinations of capital letters A, B, and C with lowercase a, b, and c. Okay, you did it. That's it. Thanks a lot and see you later. Bye.